We wanted to call you in particular because you actually ran against Newsom in his recall in California. You have a lot of insights into the political system, what actually goes on behind the scenes. You're in real estate, and we've all been affected by the fires in one way or another. Not a lot of people know this, but my mom actually lost her house in the 2018 fires. Jack, you lost your home.
Lost my home in the Thomas fire, which was like late 2017, early 2018.
Yeah. And and you were in the same location basically as Jack.
We opened our window. Well, I mean, Lauren, I had like 4 hours of sleep that night, and Lauren's like, Kevin, there's an evacuation order, and this is the fire. And I'm like, fake news. This was back in 2017. I didn't believe it. We opened the blinds above our bathtub, and we could basically see where your house was and the fires coming in. That close. We were in the flatlands under it. But yes, that was a terrible, terrible day.
It was pretty brutal. We all have experiences we can share, obviously, in how it pertains to the fires that are currently going on in California. So I think we all have a few unique insights, and I think it'd be an important thing to discuss. So that's why we're recording the podcast.
Absolutely. Well, I'm excited to talk about it and the solutions that hopefully California can implement. And we'll see if the new Trump administration can help with those as well, because Newsom can't get anything done.
Yeah, well, this is one of the things I found very interesting. Technically, now, this is the most destructive natural disaster in the history of Los Angeles. The fire was moving 5 football fields a minute. It's one of the worst wildfire episodes in California history, with an economic loss of $135 billion to $150 billion. A question I want to ask you, do you think California is still a good place to live for the average person?
Oh, great question. Well, I think there are a lot of opportunities in California outside of the political spectrum, just because we have a lot of jobs. San Francisco Bay Area. San Francisco obviously has turned into a disaster under the leadership of people like London Breed, the mayor of San Francisco, and Gavin Newsom, who was the mayor before that and is now the governor. But a lot of jobs. A lot of jobs in the East Bay, a lot of jobs in farming, the San Joaquin Valley, a lot of jobs in Los Angeles, San Diego. So I think there's a lot of opportunity. The problem is the politics have made it so prohibitive to advance in certain types of businesses, to grow your business, to try to grow your investments in California. Simply make a simple comparison to taxation. What, out here in Vegas, your top tax bracket is 38%, your Fed plus your maybe Obamacare tax 3%. Look at that same thing in California, and you're at 54%. More than half of your money is going away to the government. So I think California is a great place to live if you can spend all of your money and not pay the taxes by expensing it all. Great way to do it, because then you get the benefits of California without paying the taxes. Or you probably want to live somewhere else. It's just gotten so challenging, especially with what you guys had to deal with in Santa Monica. It's so sad seeing what you had such a great video on what happened to 3rd Street Promenade, the before and after, businesses leaving because you can't do business. How are you supposed to start as an entrepreneur in California with the regulation, the red tape, the permitting, the fees that they want to take? I think Lyft is now suing San Francisco for overcharging them in taxes as a percentage of the revenues they were collecting. It's a cost prohibitive place to do business, but it is a great state, and one day it'll be fixed politically. It's just not there right now.
And in terms of the regulatory environment, I remember when we were rebuilding on the lot that obviously our original house burned down on, it was so complicated and dragged out so long to rebuild the house that was burned down because of a lot of the failures of the city. Like, same thing happened where we had the Santa Ana winds. We had over 1,000 structures burned down in the Thomas fire. And on top of that, water pressure was basically gone. So a lot of the fire hydrants stopped working. People couldn't defend their homes. And so it was kind of a failure on that behalf as well. So it's like continually over time, California has consistently struggled. And it's hard to know who's to blame for all of this stuff. And Graham has actually done a ton of research, so he's pretty well educated in that. We're going to get into a lot of the misinformation, which I think should be pretty interesting.
Yeah.